Hello Sharks, I'm David Frankel, founder of Perky LLC, the clothing innovation company.
And I am Bryce Frankel.
I'm also the inventor of the product called the Perky Collar. It is a collar support system for dress shirts. I also have 6 children. They range from 4 years old all the way up to 21 years old. My business is Perky LLC, the clothing innovation company. Our first product to market is called the Perky Collar. It's a collar support system for dress shirts for both men and women. Who doesn't love a high collar professional look? But how quickly does it start falling and drooping and sagging? A typical shirt will start to look like this after about a handful of washes. You can see how the placket's starting to fold, the collar is starting to tuck under, and a lot of times if you're walking, this starts to match pretty quickly. And the same thing happens to a woman's blouse as well. Until now, the Perky Collar. Now, until I had this invention, what were your choices? Heavy starch to the dry cleaner, or you put on a tie. But a lot of work environments now, you don't wear a tie. So that being the case, everyone's stuck looking like this. Lacking professionalism, lacking swag, lacking confidence. I want to bring that back with a simple tool. Here's how it works. Raise your collar, add Perky Collar with the long tapered ends on top. Keep your collar stays in because that prevents a collar from curling. That's a different problem. And you're back to a nice high collar professional look. You took it from sad to ultimately super sexy in a matter of seconds. And the packaging, equally sexy. You can see it has a black leather-like box, stores the Perky Collar beautifully, and you can also store other accessories, whether it be pocket squares or cufflinks or lapel pins. You don't have to put it on the nightstand or the bathroom counter anymore. You can put it all right here in the Perky Collar box. I'm seeking $175,000 for 25% of the Perky LLC company. That's all the inventions in the future, as well as ones we have already today, the Perky Collar. So what do I need this money for? Step 1, I need to get more inventory. Not 6 months from now or a year from now. I need it starting this summer. So I'm going to allocate $50,000 of the $175,000 directly to inventory so I can have it in 2 or 3 months. Second step, $50,000 needs to go towards collecting more of these lanyards from trade shows. Everywhere from Las Vegas to New York to Chicago to Charlotte to Atlanta. These do a great job of helping me get reorders and sell through for the stores I'm already in, plus I need to add more stores to the arsenal. And lastly, $75,000. Advertising, awareness, helping people understand what the product is and how it works. Probably my biggest challenge. So Facebook ads have been very effective for me. We started doing Facebook ads January of this year, and we got up to 1 million views in that short period of time. We also found a ton of shares and tons of likes, which is great. But we also have to start doing commercials on Bloomberg and CNN and headline news so business professionals know about the Perky Collar and how it can help them look good and feel good. Perky LLC, as I mentioned, is a clothing innovation company. As I mentioned to you earlier, I invented the Perky Collar. But why stop there? Why not invite other inventors from all across the country to sell their products through my website? So recently I've added the pocket square holder, prevent pocket squares from falling down as well as unfolding. So now we have a captive audience looking for the Perky Collar and end up with all these other great problem-solving solutions. Perky LLC is a clothing innovator, and that's what you're investing in.
Because when you look good, you feel good.
There's very few products out there that help people look their best. Instead of having to buy a new shirt or a new tie or a new suit to look better, you can add some accessories to make your existing wardrobe look better. So again, this is how you want to look. Nice high collar, nice pocket square, nice lapel pin. But if you take out the Perky Collar and you look like that, you feel awful. You don't have the confidence you had before. I get people calling me all the time saying, I left my Perky Collar at home. I came all the way back home just to get it. I have people telling me they buy second and third to put one in their suitcase, one in their office, and one at home because they can't live without it. You can't wear a dress shirt and get used to having a nice high collar and have it sometimes and not have it other times. The Perky Collar is patent pending, not fully patented just yet. We filed for a provisional patent in January of 2015 and a non-provisional patent in January 2016. So Perky LLC has 2 fully developed products on the market today, the Perky Collar and the pocket square holder. Perky Collar has generated over $75,000 in revenue, and we've sold over 6,800 units. The pocket square holder we've just started carrying since March, and we've sold over 100 units of that as well. The rest of the products are coming this summer. So Sharks, what else is out there related to collars and dress shirts? The collar stay has been around since the 1950s. It prevents the collar from curling. Different problem. The $1 million collar is a device that has to be professionally installed within the plackets. Also, it's a big pain to install it in all your shirts. But you can still use it with the Perky Collar. And finally, the working stiff or the power stay. There's a magnet on the inside of the collar as well as it connects to the collar itself to bring a non-button-down collar in to look like a button-down collar shirt. All of which can be used with the Perky Collar. Again, our main focus is to lift up that top button region so it doesn't droop and sag. What was my aha moment? I was getting ready for work one day in which I took a shirt right out of the dry cleaning bag, put the dress shirt on, and the collar looked awful. It drooped, it sagged. I was wearing a blazer, so it started tucking under. I could not go to a meeting looking like that. So I took the shirt, put it back in my closet, got another shirt, still in the dry cleaning bag, put that shirt on, same problem. So at that point, I felt like MacGyver, and I started looking around the bathroom, looking for a solution, something I can stick in my collar to make it look good enough for the meeting, because I didn't have time to go buy a new shirt. I then walked into my 5-year-old daughter's bedroom, looking for a solution, and I stumbled on a basket full of headbands. And I started looking through, some were elastic, some were stretchy, but I found one was very simple. It was purple actually, and I stuck it in my collar, but it did a great job as I ran into the bathroom to look at myself in the mirror, and voila, my collar looked great. After that meeting, I called a company here in Charlotte called Inventus and said, I have an idea to stop droopy and saggy collars. And we sat down and talked about it, and the rest is history. So Sharks, with a $700,000 valuation, I know your next question is, so what are your sales? Well, my sales in 2016 was just under $40,000. Now, the good news is that in 2017, Q1, we did $20,000, and we've already this year to date have done $28,000. So we're projected to do $80,000 to $120,000 this year, 3 times what we did last year. So we're really excited about the growth of the company. We've also added a new product, the Pocket Square Holder, in March. So that's also helped with revenue, and we have more coming soon. So we know with 100% confidence, it's only going to get bigger and better as we add more stores and as more awareness continues to grow across the globe. So how much of my own money have I put into this company? Well, over $100,000. And where did that money come from? Because I think that's important. I am fully in. Since February of 2016, I've been all in this company. I cashed in both my parents' inheritance to start this company. I also took care of my 401k. So with 6 children and a wife that stays home, I am all in. So that's why I'm here today, Sharks, to ask you to help me take my company, my legacy to the next level. And I need your help. And it's only going to happen if you help us with your experience and your networking to take it to the next level. I've gone as far as I can by myself. It's up to you now to say, hey, this is a good guy. He works hard, he's grinding, he's making phone calls, he's going into stores, he's going to trade shows, he's all in. Let's help this guy. I need your help. So what does Perky LLC mean to me? It means leaving a legacy for my family. I want my children to be entrepreneurs. I want them to have control of their own destiny and be able to work for themselves and reach their own dreams versus working for someone else helping them achieve their dreams. And I invested in my family and my children. So again, I invested in myself, I invested in my family. So does this mean a lot to me? It sure does. I wouldn't be working as hard as I do for them if it didn't mean a lot to me. So something interesting about David Frankel and Perky LLC. I also love to give back to the next generation that aren't my kids. And I do that in 2 ways. One is I work with a group called the Charlotte Entrepreneur Think Tank. We meet weekly to help discuss business strategies, challenges here in the Charlotte area, and also to guide other inventors on the process I've been through. The second way I do it is through a program called the Real Entrepreneur Experience and Learning 100. And from the Charlotte Entrepreneur Think Tank group, I found a dozen volunteers that want to go into middle schools with me and help kids understand the process of invention. I've also done career days at middle schools and high schools to represent the entrepreneurs that are out there so they have a voice as well. So what's my biggest challenge? I think with any inventor, the challenge is education. Is how do you help people understand what it is and how it works? Because again, anytime you talk about the collar, they automatically assume that the collar stay solves the problem. So my biggest challenge is educating people, consumers directly through social media, what the product does and how it works. And then when it comes to getting into stores, when I go to trade shows, store owners think the same thing. Oh, we carry collar stays. Oh, we carry working stiffs, we're good. But no product lifts the collar up like mine does. So the biggest challenge is education. And that's why I feel with the money for advertising and commercials and more Facebook ads, we can really address that problem and my solution. And we can really make this go from a challenge to a success story. When you look good, you feel good. Thanks, Shark Tank.
You look good, you feel good. Thanks, Shark Tank. Bye.